Well, it is just after 1 in the morning in Cairo, and protests demanding the return of ousted President Mohamed Morsi are still going strong. The two main demonstration sites have remained peaceful, but that wasn't the case at a smaller protest on the city's outskirts. Reza Say is joining us now from Cairo with details. So Reza, the protesters, some of them tried to storm a media compound. Why?
Well, I don't think there's any question, Relitza, that supporters of the ousted President Mohamed Morsi want to expand these demonstrations. They want to flex their muscles. They want to show that they have mass appeal, and that's perhaps why several thousands of them headed to a location in western Cairo called Media City. This is where you'll find a collection of private television stations. Once they got there, that's when you had clashes between protesters and security forces over a span of several hours. That was in western Cairo. Where we are in eastern Cairo, the demonstrations were peaceful, but once again, very, very lively. Tens of thousands of supporters of the ousted President Mohamed Morsi coming here to Rabaa al-Adawiya Mosque, a place that's become a home base of Morsi supporters, and their position remains the same, Relitza. They reject this interim government, and they want Mohamed Morsi, the former president, to be reinstated again.
Are there any signs that the government will carry out its threat to break up the protests?
It's very tough to get a read on the government at this point because of mixed messages. Over the past few days, they sent a lot of ominous signals and threats which suggested that they were preparing for an operation to clear out this demonstration and another one in front of Cairo University. But today you had the Interior Ministry come out and say, no, we're not going to launch an operation at this point. What we are going to do is cordon off this demonstration here in East Cairo. In other words, surround it, let people go out, but do not let anyone come in. If they implement that strategy, it suggests an effort by authorities to cut off supplies coming in and other demonstrators from coming in. And we should point out, any operation against this place is going to have to face a sit-in that's mushroomed into a small town. There's hundreds of tents here, entire families, women, children. There's a kitchen here that makes thousands of ready-to-eat meals every day, a daycare center, even a barber shop, Relitza. So any operation here is going to be difficult by any measure.
And that brings me to the question, what would the consequences be, given that violence has killed so many people already?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your last question, Relitza.
What would the consequences be if the government decides to go in?
Well, by any measure, it's going to be difficult. I can't imagine an operation being launched against this sit-in without bloodshed. But what we've seen over the past couple of days is pressure from the international community for both sides to scale down the violence. Now, are authorities paying attention to that call? It's not clear. We'll see what happens in the coming days. Authorities here have said within the next 2 days, 48 hours, they will cordon off this area. So a lot of people anxious to see what happens.